Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. There is new content over there. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram is at Anonymous Reality Tea. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and coming or going, hit the like button. So today we are talking the Love Island USA Season 7 reunion. I think I'm going to break things up into a few videos so these don't get too long. In this video, we're going to talk about Netflix's response to Huda not talking about her relationship or situationship with Louis, NIC unfollowing Huda, and also Jeremiah saying that Ace was questioned about the heart rate challenge, which was deleted out. So there's a lot of thoughts that I have. And first and foremost, I want to say the reunion did not need to be 2 hours. I felt they dragged out a lot of foolishness with some of the other people, and it drug out, I think, to edit out a lot of the things that they were trying to hold Huda accountable for. And it didn't land. I felt like we should have got the ground running with a lot of the main hot button topics, and it made no sense to drag out all the foolishness with Amaya and Brian, with Pepe and Iris, knowing that they are obviously no longer together. So I just wanted to say that, right? So first and foremost, a big talking point, which wasn't until the end of the reunion, was the heart rate challenge, right? However, my issue with the heart rate challenge is I felt like we kind of just touched it and then went away from it. And according to Jeremiah, according to a screenshot, Ace was asked about the heart rate challenge and his thoughts. And apparently what happened was Jeremiah said that it was edited out. That it was edited out of, Ace's commentary on the heart rate challenge and what his thoughts were and if he took accountability. He said in a video, because I believe he did a live with Hannah and somebody else. I think it was Iris. I don't remember who he went live with. But nonetheless, said that it is for Ace to speak on. I don't know if Ace is going to speak on it because I think Ace might be done with Peacock altogether in terms of, how him and Shelly were portrayed. So I don't know if we're ever going to get that context as far as him speaking on the heart rate challenge and what happened, unless like Speedy or somebody does an interview with him. But I don't know if we're going to get that. But according to Jeremiah, it got edited out with a sad emoji, right? Next thing I wanted to talk about in this video was Netflix, y'all. Netflix throwing shade at Huda, you guys. And it's just like, I don't know why people are trying to make it seem like she got some type of PR training or how to handle herself for the reunion, because everything was like, oh, I love you to death. I love you so much. I'm apologetic. I can apologize if you feel this way. No. That's not taking accountability. That's not standing on business. Or I felt this way too. Or I experienced this too. No. So one of the direct questions that Andy Cohen was asking Huda as it pertained to her relationship with Louis, right? And said that, hey, we have seen you out on red carpets, out on streamer lives with a particular person, out at different nightclub parties with a particular person. You were spotted out in LA with a particular person. And Huda's like, I can't talk about it for legal reasons. No. I can't talk about it for legal reasons. I can't talk about it because of Netflix and everything else. And I'm going to get in trouble with Netflix if I say anything. And I'm like, no. It's Louis who is wrapped up in the 360 deal with Netflix, right? Like unless y'all coming out with a show on Netflix, that is a huge cop-out. And I don't understand, if you are trying to push yourself out here as a brand and have brand deals and have opportunities, why would you throw a direct hit to the competitor of another streaming platform? Make it make sense. You are there at a reunion with Peacock, with NBC Universal, and you are representing their brand, their company, and you're up here shouting out Netflix every 2 seconds. No. Basically trying to make it seem like Netflix is bigger than the program for you to give honest and direct answers. And that was my issue with Huda all night. She was not giving direct answers. She was deflecting like a mug, and she was full of it, including this topic. Well, Netflix responded and said, "Don't at me, I don't know, IDK, I don't know," with 3 exclamation points, because they thought Huda was full of it too. They thought Huda was full of it too. Listen, those of y'all who don't know, Luis just wrapped up his 5th or 6th dating show, reality show called The Perfect Match on Netflix, right? However, everybody in the cast at this point has come out now in their real relationships. Some people are pregnant. Some people are dating some people new that have nothing to do with the show. So contractually, Luis can come out and say, hey, me and Huda are together, right? But it's just giving that, Huda just lacks discernment. She comes off as if she wants to play this clueless role. And I honestly think that Luis told her this. That Luis told her that you can't say anything about a relationship because of Netflix, because I'm still on another show and we're not allowed to talk about certain things that could mess up my contract with them. And I think Huda bought it. Huda fed and bought the BS. And this is my thing with Huda. It's like, you have no discernment when it comes to men. You have no discernment when it comes to men, or when they're playing in your face and everything else, and you sacrifice genuine female relationships like the ones that you had with Alandria and Shelly, which we'll talk about in another video, for the sake of a man, of course. Make it make sense. So the final piece that I want to speak on in this video is, after some lashings, you guys, Nicolas, after reposting some Nicolandria edits, by the way, finally in the 11th hour unfollowed Huda, right? And I want to say this, because y'all know I say in my videos, I'm team Shelly and Alandria from infinity to infinity, right? Here's my issue with Nick, right? Because you can like Nicolandria, right? You can like Nicolandria, right? You can be supportive of Nicolandria, but you can also call out when some things are not right, when some things are a little bit sketchy, right? And my issue with Nicolas, as it pertains to the Huda issue, is when they initially came out of the villa. Apparently, according to what Alandria confirmed tonight, she already knew about the hate, the racism, the superimposed George Floyd pick, and everything else that was taking place. And she had spoke to Huda even before they took a flight out to the States about saying something, right? But my issue with Nicolas is Nick is aware of all of this. But Nick still got on that live in Airbnb when they touched down in Los Angeles, and still was feeding the narrative that Huda was bullied, which is direct shots to Shelly, which is direct shots to Alandria, who is supposed to be his girl, right? And he still was double down on that, like even recently, right? In interviews. And I was just confused. And then with the heart rate challenge saying that you see both sides. But my thing is, you're sitting right there a few weeks ago when this taped. Alandria is crying her eyes out about the racism, the hate, and how her and Shelly are painted as mean girls and everything. They're being attacked, and they're being attacked right now too on their social media accounts, right? And you see Alandria crying. And for some reason, they edited out Pepe giving Alandria a napkin, because I think he passed it to Shelly, who passed it on to Alandria. But they edited that whole part out to focus in on Huda, and it was weird. But nonetheless, that at that taping, that should have been the last straw for you to unfollow Huda. And my issue with Nicolas is I think he wants to be a people pleaser. He wants to like everybody and make it seem like everything is cool. Or maybe he was afraid of the Huda rat community on headquarters on the Twitters, or getting afraid of getting attacked on the Tickety Talk by the fan base and everything else. But you ended up alienating your own fan base in the come here cream community that I believe has over like 50,000 people that are in that Twitter community that hype you up every single day, all day, every day. But they were whacking you tonight because they felt as though you were not standing on business. How can you be involved with a black woman who is saying right then and there, and who said this on multiple occasions, that she's not featuring the racism? And she's even said this in other interviews, which is why I was perplexed why Nick was not unfollowing Huda. But now, because of the fact that people are dragging you up and down, now you finally unfollow her. And then people were trying to lie and say that Jeremiah said in his live that Nicolas allegedly defended Alandria, but I don't see any receipts of that. Nobody has a video proof of that. Nobody has a screenshot of that, but they have video proof and a screenshot of Jeremiah saying that Ace, in fact, was questioned about the heart rate challenge and did give some answers and everything else about his role in the heart rate challenge and everything else, but said it was for him to speak on. However, nothing on Nicolas. So I just find that very interesting, right? But my thing is with Nicolas is, if you're really trying to cultivate this relationship with Alandria, you have to understand, when it comes to racism, when it comes to hatred and everything else, there has to be a zero tolerance policy. You can't just continue to follow Huda, continue to say good things about her in TikTok lives and in interviews because you're afraid of her fan base or you're afraid of any backlash. And then basically trying to throw and imply out there that, you know, if you're saying that Huda is bullied, which Huda's explanation of that tonight was a complete cop-out, you're basically throwing a hit at your girl too, because Huda would never say names. So all of the hate went to directly Alandria and Shelly as a result. So that didn't help the matter, Nicolas. Again, you can like Nick Alandria, but you can call out when things are weird. And the whole thing where Nick was defending Huda and saying she was bullied and refusing to unfollow her and all of this and all of that, it was odd. It was odd. It was weird. So there is that. That is it. That is all for this particular video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.